There was zero money in the sport. I was paying for mantra fees. I was driving to all my tournaments. I personally feel like if they're not talking, we're not doing it right. Premature ejaculation. Just make sure that you're not speeding up at the wrong time, okay? Because if you're not ready for the second one to come back, don't hit the first. And I think something that amateurs aren't aware of is that, from like a 3.0 to a 3.5 level, probably 80% of the points are being won by unforced errors.
Like, hey, he's strutting around like a rooster. What's going on?
Right. Who is this guy? Hair's all spiked up, no shirt on in the morning.
I heard you mention in Clean and Sober, so
Okay.
tell me a little bit about that.
I went on a little psychedelic journey with my therapist 3 or 4 months ago. Yeah, I just struggled with ego, struggled with like being too reactionary with my wife and my kids, having zero moderation in life, whether it was alcohol or other things. Just looking to be a better human, looking to find a better version of myself, and honestly too, like be able to like talk to God and just believe in something bigger and better than me, and I freaking found it, man. So honestly, it was fucking powerful.
Yeah, man. You found religion, or you just kind of?
Well, yeah, I've just found that like I can trust something bigger than me, and I can like rely on him. I always thought I had to do it myself, and I think with all that like came ego, and I wasn't all that thoughtful, and I was very surface. Like also too, I didn't love the man inside, which didn't allow me to love others, and grew up with some child abuse. Grew up with my dad who wasn't all that loyal and stuff like that, and I was just trying to find my way,
It's just a blessing, man.
Thanks,
It's so
man.
awesome to share that with me.
Appreciate
All
that.
right, so you've been playing a while now. How long have you been playing?
Yeah.
What's your current rank and what's your current rating?
How long have I been playing? I've been playing for 9 years. I believe my Duper rating is 6'2", 6'5", something like that.
Okay.
Came into the sport back in 2016, was a total passion project early on. There was zero money in the sport. I was paying for mantra fees. I was driving to all my tournaments. I was getting free product from Selkirk, and I was pumped about that. There was zero salary. And I can't tell you how many tournaments I played where I'd show up at 8 a.m. and we played till freaking midnight all day long, right? We wait for hours. Yeah, I tried to make it in tennis, wasn't quite good enough, didn't have any money to travel, all the above. I grew up as a wrestler, didn't start playing tennis until I was like 12 years old and fell in love with it. I didn't have to cut weight anymore, didn't have to suffer in the wrestling room. It was healthier for dad and I. My dad was my wrestling coach forever. I had plenty of fire left in me. I had plenty of dog left in me, right? Once I stopped playing tennis, I found pickleball and freaking dove all in. And back to the theme of having no moderation in life, that's exactly how I treated pickleball. I just spent all my time and effort. I mean, I was teaching tennis at the time because there was really no money in pickleball, right? So
Right.
I was cranking out 60-hour weeks on the tennis court, and then any extra time I had, whether it was after work or it was at 6 a.m., like before I taught my 8 a.m. lesson, I was slapping that plastic ball around, right? Just getting my touches in.
Yeah, you gotta get the
Bet your ass.
That's awesome. So 9 years, there's been just a huge change in the sport in 9 years. Like
Yeah.
just the new athletes coming in, stuff like that. What do you see pickleball doing in the next 5 years? Like, where do you see it going?
Yeah, obviously, I think the growth is going to be significant. I think we're going to see different brands in the game. We're going to see better engagement, better viewership on TV. I think with that, players' followings on social media, if they have YouTube channels and stuff like that, everything's just going to grow, right? So I'm just focused on trying to align myself with the right brands, trying to align myself with the right content ideas. That way I'm just kind of set in stone. Pumped to be on this journey. I think we're leaps and bounds from where we were back in 2019. I think the PPA tour, obviously the athlete that's coming in is getting younger, much more athletic. I'm 34, only getting older. So my end goal, honestly, is like just to be relevant as long as I can and to keep giving back to the sport that's given so much to me.
Yeah, man. So are you ever going to come out with a pickleball workout video? Like, I could see you being the person.
Yeah, so my trainer and I have something in the works.
Nice.
He's already got an online training app that's kind of catered
Nice.
towards pickleball players. It's very specific. He's very knowledgeable. He was an ex-MMA guy back in the day, ex-wrestler. Same with myself. We got a lot in common there. We're known to watch some UFC fights on Saturdays.
Yeah,
You know what
bro.
I mean?
Love
Oh, yeah,
me some
come on.
UFC.
Love me some violence. So yeah, I think we definitely have something in the works where we would do something online.
Need any fat middle-aged guys to work your program? And
You're
say-
my guy, baby. You're my guy.
Yeah.
Come on.
I got it, bro. I
You're my
got,
guy.
I got you, man. I
You're
got to
our
drop
first
30.
demo.
I got to drop 30, you know?
Right. But yeah, a couple things we have in the works. Obviously, we have the camp business rocking and rolling. We just started a new YouTube channel called McGuffin's. It's like this family style vlog about, you know, my 3 pillars as an athlete, me as a dad, coach, athlete, coach, and dad, sorry. So we're showcasing the kids, showing this intimate look on our family. With that, hoping to bring in some new eyeballs to pickleball and really just kind of blow up that YouTube channel. I have a teaching certification coming out here very soon. Can't talk about the brand that I'm partnering with, but we're going to really take this thing global, not only the teaching cert, but the camps as well. So I'm just trying to do cool stuff in the industry that nobody else is doing going and just keep growing my brand and keep giving back. So,
Yeah, man, that's awesome. And even putting your family out there, like people don't realize how much viciousness people are on this YouTube, man. It's like these keyboard warriors are just slamming you all the time,
they
and so
can
just
talk all they want.
good on you, good
Right.
on you, just even being vulnerable
Right.
enough to let your family in
Yeah.
on that and have them be part of that journey. That's pretty.
I personally feel like if they're not talking, you are not doing it right.
Right. Well, that's what I
Right,
was
you
saying is
know?
like, getting called a 3-5, like people think they insult us. I'm like, no, just keep commenting, man. The more comments I get, the more views I get.
Yeah,
So it's
right,
like,
right. It's all good.
you know,
Bring on the
yeah,
engagement.
exactly. What would you say to these tennis players coming in? These tennis players coming in, not to help your competition, their future competition, but what would you tell them to do to help accelerate their growth in pickleball? Like, what would you tell them to
So
start
tennis
with?
players coming in, I would say dumb things down. Less is more. Less going on, less that can go wrong. And just I think shot awareness, shot selection. Anytime you're on defense, instead of swinging, I mean most tennis players like their tendencies are swinging when they're on defense, speeding up at the wrong time. Something that I say in camps is or camp as I'm teaching camps or if I'm doing educational videos is no premature ejaculation. Okay. Okay. So thought you'd like that. So, just make sure that you're not speeding up at the wrong time, okay? Because if you're not ready for the second one to come back, don't hit the first one, right?
Right,
Simple as
right,
that.
right, right. Yeah,
The old
simple. Keep
speed
it
up
simple.
and clean up versus speeding up and seeing it as like a one-shot wonder, speeding up and trying to be the hero.
Oh,
Right?
look at you.
There's no need to
Cliche
be the
man.
hero out here. So shot selection, and I think too, like just knowing your identity as a player, like things you do well, things you don't do well, under pressure, like what's your panic button? Do you tend to use too much wrist? Tactically, do you hit your third ball drop and just look to see how pretty it is? Like you're
I'm
right.
tactically challenged myself.
Under pressure, like does your tactics break down? Does your court positioning break down? Does your technique break down? So just kind of being aware of that stuff.
You completed fifth on this, but who is one player that you could think of that you just like beating? It could be a rival, it could be
Yeah,
somebody
no,
you,
for
a
sure.
good friend even. Like some of my best rivals were my best friends,
Right,
but
right.
like who do you enjoy
Right.
beating?
I mean, obviously, anytime that I can beat the ultimate go, I mean,
Yeah.
it's a damn good day, and I usually sleep like an angel that night, if you know what I mean. And I wake up the next day a very confident man.
Like, hey, he's strutting around like a rooster. What's going on? Oh, he
Right?
wants to beat
Who is this guy? Hair's all spiked up, no shirt on in the morning.
Flexing in the
Yeah,
air,
right.
like, oh, you beat Ben yesterday. That's right.
Right.
Who else? Anybody
Um,
like Andiamo comes to mind? Maybe
No,
Riley
no,
Newman.
Andiama's fine to me. Matt Wright and I haven't always been the best of friends, so anytime I can get a W there, it's always a pretty good day. But no, I think there's a lot of camaraderie on the tour. Even though we are enemies to a certain degree, you can be rough and tough on the court, but after we can all be good friends and
Yeah, let's
go
go
to the
have
pro
a
lounge.
let's go have a drink together, right? That
Yeah,
type of thing.
100%.
That's awesome. Yeah, I don't think that people don't realize the click you guys kind of have. It's like a mutual respect for each other. It's like, hey, we're professionals, so like I don't have to like you on the court, but off the court, hey man, you need me, I'm here for you.
Well, and it's a pretty small pond too, right? So we see each other time and time again.
Yeah, put on your future seeing hat. What do you see the sport evolving to 5 years from now?
I think the professional side is going to be much younger. I think the growth is going to be insane. I think we're going to be seeing more pickleball facilities like the Exchange here, and it's going to help the sport. I think players' followings and their social media presence is going to be much bigger. There's going to be bigger brands coming in the game, and I think pros are going to be making a pretty good living. That's for sure.
Not like when you
Hey,
living
not
on
like
dirt.
the old passion project days. That's right.
You're like, okay, wow, you kind of like this sport. I ain't making nothing. Should amateurs try to replicate what they see you guys do?
I think in a controlled setting, right? The pros that are doing well are still playing by the basics, right? They're hitting deep serves and getting good depth on the return, and they're dropping and trying to come in and being disciplined with their shot selection and all that. So like the meat of it and the bulk of it, yes. Now someone like the speed ups off the bounce or some of the shots that are like a bit more complex or like the backhand roll or dinking with all this spin. I think you have to take it with a grain of salt and just know what your identity is, what your strengths are, and just kind of play inside that comfort zone. But I think from like a basic standpoint, yes, make your drops, play at a high percentage. Some of the best teams in the world are just making balls, using the kitchen as a neutralizer. And I think something that amateurs aren't aware of is that, from like a 3-0 to a 3-5 level, probably 80% of the points are being won by unforced errors, right? It doesn't have to be that good. And 4-0 plus, maybe it's 60% is being won by unforced errors. Something that the amateurs should know is that the pros and the amateurs all put their socks and underwear on the same exact way. We do, baby. Tie our shoes the right way. Drink my water the right way, the same way. Yeah, and it's funny how amateurs see us pros as like these godly figures and stuff like that. But we're all the same.
Just dude, man. Just a dude.
And it's something I've always tried to do is stay true to just who I am.
Yeah, man.
And the person that I was day one.
Yeah, man, that's one of the things. You're kind of like the elder statesman in your 30s, but you've just always been a class act. I see the way you are with people, like you're constantly on. But introvert or extroverted? You an introvert, extrovert?
Extrovert, yeah,
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 so
for
you get
sure.
energy around people.
For
Like
sure. I would say early on in my career, more of an introvert, and I was trying to like find my path and find the best version of me. But over the last couple of years, just with, getting more comfortable in my own skin, going on this spiritual journey, meeting the right people, being around a bunch of entrepreneurs, getting more educated with business and stuff like that, it's made me more of an extrovert.
that's awesome,
Yeah.
man.
So
That's really awesome, bro.
thank you,
Thank you
brother.
so
Yeah,
much,
man, for
man.
sure. Yep.